안녕하세요. Welcome to Cathlyn's Korean Food Challenge. Today's recipe is another one of my all-time favorites and specialty dish, Kori Chim, which is the oxtail stew. Unfortunately, most people aren't really familiar with this recipe. If you were wondering about what it tastes like, I think braised kalbi short ribs, but with a slightly richer flavor. Oxtails come from a steer's tail, so the texture is a bit tougher compared to other cuts of beef because it's an area where the muscle is well exercised and they're marbled with fat, but it's very rich in iron. As with most tough cuts of beef, oxtails are best slow cooked for several hours. And they tend to be fatty, so I'd recommend that you first rinse and soak them in water for at least 30 minutes. You can prepare this dish in a regular pot, crock pot, or pressure cooker. But today, I'm going to show you how to cook the Kori Chim using an appliance which you probably may not even have thought of, the rice cooker. Since today's recipe requires about an hour to cook and prepare from start to finish, I'd better get started on slicing and chopping up the vegetables. Here we have some cooked chestnuts, which I have marinated in honey for 2 days. Some dried dates. I've prepared some whole dried shiitake mushrooms, which I have pre-soaked in water for half hour to soften them. Beautiful yellow and red bell peppers. I have also a couple of fresh ginseng roots. Take a paring knife and gently scrape off the surface of the root like this. In Korean, it's called insam, literally meaning a human root because it is shaped like a human body. Next, I'm going to cut up the vegetables in small cubes, starting with the daikon radish, sweet potato, a carrot, half a brown onion, then the bell peppers. Set them aside and add them onto the braised kalbi at the very end. As for the green onion, cut them diagonally in half-inch slices. Here I have about 2 pounds of cut-up oxtails that have been nicely trimmed. I've rinsed them several times and let them soak in cold water for about half hour to remove the excess blood. Let's start by boiling the oxtails in a stock pot. You need to fill it with enough water to cover the oxtails and boil in medium-high heat for about 45 minutes. Drain and place them in a bowl. I have pre-mixed a cup of kalbi sauce, which is basically soy sauce, sesame oil, minced garlic and ginger, cooking wine, brown sugar, and some fresh pear juice. Pour the sauce over the oxtail and mix well. Add the oxtails into the rice pot. Add a cup of water and some of the broth from earlier. Add the dried dates, shiitake mushrooms, onion, daikon radish, and ginseng root. Pour the rest of the kalbi sauce over the ingredients and let the oxtail stew cook in the rice cooker for an hour. When it's done, remove the oxtail and ingredients from the rice cooker and place them onto a nice plate or clay pot.